last one for Josh.
Sure.
Before we say farewell to Josh here, and I'm just reading through them here. Everybody, bear with me. This is just Peter Wacklin, hashtag WFLA now, hashtag HJB, hashtag Hey Josh. Is Dog the Bounty Hunter taking the lead on the search?
No.
Or is the FBI still in charge?
Keep in mind, Dog the Bounty Hunter is an independent investigation. They do their own thing. They have no relation to law enforcement whatsoever.
And I'm sure that there's conversations if they're on location there together, and I'm sure that there's Dog the Bounty Hunter works with local law enforcement and with law enforcement in general. So not to say that they don't communicate, but to say that he's taking the lead on the search.
Yeah, not true.
No, not anywhere close to true.
The FBI has a very good reputation in managing searches. Obviously, the highest agency out there to do it. So, not the case. But it doesn't mean we're not getting information from their team. We take it and we look into it and we want to report it. We want to confirm it, just like we did with the reservations to the park yesterday. So that's information that comes in. We try to distill it down and prove it factual.
Josh, before we let you go,
sure,
we have team coverage on the way here in our 4 o'clock newscast here. Big thanks to Peter for your comment here. But before we let you go, Josh, what's coming up here at 4 o'clock, and what are you going to be monitoring on social media and here in the area in the hours ahead?
Well, I think the challenging part now is there are fewer updates. I had heard earlier the authorities are back out at the Carlton Reserve and continuing their search out there. But as you saw in the last day or two, there's really been no searching really going on. And that's frustrating for a lot of viewers to watch. You guys want to talk about updates and you want to know what's going on. You want endless, action, so to speak. And that just doesn't happen in a case like this. We just have to take breaks. And that's why I think now that we're going to start seeing lookalikes and stories, Dogs team reporting they're getting a lot of tips about the Appalachian Trail out in Pennsylvania. Those are things that are coming in that I'm learning about from my source. And it's just, that's going to help trigger more lookalike spottings and sightings. And that can complicate it because obviously we can't go through and verify each one of those sightings. People are going to go online in their own detective work to try to say, yeah, that was him, we spotted him. But you just got to, you got to not go down that road. And obviously until we have some firm understanding of any of the legitimacy of these sightings from law enforcement, that will be the end-all, be-all when it comes to this case.
Folks, you can catch them on WFLA News Channel 8 at 4 o'clock. That's your NBC station here in the Tampa Bay area where we are here in Florida. That's your, again, 8 on your side team, ready to provide you with team coverage here, Josh.
And whatever I have on the case, I go to Twitter with it, so twitter.com/WFLA Josh. I put everything I have right there for you.
All right, Josh Benson, everybody. Thanks a lot, folks. All right, so let's get to... we're going to bring in 8 on your sides, Justin Schecker here in about 10 or so seconds. Let's bring in Justin now. Got to hit a couple of buttons here and make sure that we're all good to go. And there, just like that, folks, we've got sitting down now, 8 on your sides, Justin Schecker. Justin, I'm going to get you right up there on that microphone there, sir, and welcome. Welcome to WFLA Now. And Justin, what are you monitoring right now?
I was out at Fort Soto last night. A lot of the attention the last day has been focused on this visit from the Laundrie family, which we confirmed through their attorney, Stephen Bertolino, as well as the public records request we had yesterday as breaking news, JB, showing that the Roberta Laundrie had that reservation from the 6th, which was Monday, Labor Day, through the 8th, that Wednesday. Their attorney came back and told us the family was there, and they left, the 3 of them on the 7th, which would have been that Tuesday. And then again, we saw the breaking news. I know you're talking with Josh that the the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office has confirmed to 8 on your side they turned over surveillance video related to this Laundrie family visit to the FBI as part of their investigation. So a fast-moving situation, JB. I was out there yesterday on the ground, Fort DeSoto. There were campers there who saw, there were a few media crews there, and they were all, interested, what were we doing there? And people were, couldn't believe we were there because of this story that were kind of piecing in this timeline, what happened with the Laundrie family after Gabby disappeared, and that was this visit we have confirmed to this a beautiful park there in southern Pinellas County.
Let's get to this comment that just came in. We got a lot of comments in the queue, but this one is very timely. So from Jennifer Salza, hashtag AJB, any more reports about the helicopter that just arrived? All right, I'm going to bring up our map here, and very interesting. So Justin, we were just talking about how right as we began our stream, the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office chopper was taking off from, and I want to make sure I have this right, from St. Pete Clearwater International Airport there in Pinellas County, and started making this big loop, crossing I-275, crossing over the entryway to Tampa Bay, and did go around Fort DeSoto. But interesting of note here, it has continued north. And okay, so now turning around. This is interesting to watch. So the Pinellas County chopper kind of did a big J loop around Fort DeSoto Park, where you're looking at here, everybody, in the center of your screen. And now they've gone up north past St. Pete Beach, one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. Have you ever been to St. Pete Beach? It's just absolutely magnificent.
Pretty up there too, JB.
Yeah, Fort DeSoto is beautiful. Treasure Island. But right now, speaking of Treasure Island, and between Treasure Island and Madera Beach, that's where the chopper is kind of circling around. So what this could be is the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office chopper doing routine surveillance or a routine flight, or they've responded to a couple of different calls from the air. There's no indication at this time that the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office chopper being in the air is connected to Brian Laundrie. But it's interesting to note that their first stop was Fort DeSoto Campground.
So one thing, when I talked to some of the campers out there yesterday, they said it would have been Monday night. Today's Wednesday, right? Yeah, it would have been Monday night that they had heard a helicopter fly over, which confirmed what we saw about the flight records, JB, showing that the chopper had flown over then. And again, obviously, the big news today that the sheriff's office has turned over that surveillance video. I mentioned yesterday there's also a toll booth going into the park, so I wonder if there's any records there with the license plate and whatnot. And I did speak to one gentleman who is at a campsite a few spots down from the Laundries. He told me he has no recollection of seeing Brian or his parents, but he believes he saw their maroon truck with the camper attached to the back as he was leaving with his wife on the morning of September 7th, JB. So that fits in this timeline confirmed by the attorney. At least one other camper did not see the family, so to speak, but he believes he remembers seeing their red maroon van with that white camper attached to the back of it.
A lot of commenters here asking, what is the update? What is the update? Well, it's on the bottom of your screen. Two significant, well, really three, we could say, significant pieces of information. Stephen Bertolino, the attorney for Brian Laundrie, confirming that there was a new phone. Burner phone might as well have been trending on Twitter because so many people were asking about a potential burner phone, whether or not there was a burner phone purchased by the Laundrie family. And Stephen Bertolino didn't use the actual term burner phone, but did confirm to News Nation's Brian Enton that a new phone was purchased, but that Brian left it and that it's now in the possession of the FBI. The other piece of information that we learned is that the Fort DeSoto surveillance video, that there's video that is of note here, of note enough that it was given from the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office to the FBI, and that occurring yesterday, 3 weeks after the visit here to Fort DeSoto. That in and of itself is interesting. We could break that down over the next half hour to an hour. And then, of course, we know now that there is feet on the ground, boots on the ground as far as this independent investigation. Dog the Bounty Hunter and a couple of others here, members of law enforcement or former members of law enforcement. It's really former members of law enforcement that are on the ground here, and they are searching the area. And I want to make this clear. Fort DeSoto isn't just this strip that you see here.
It's massive. I must have walked close to a mile or two yesterday, JB, just along the beach side. That is kind of the inner, I guess I'm going to call it the channel side with the waterfront beach camp areas where the campground areas where the Laundries had the reservation. It's like a long kind of U shape. You go down, JB, comes around, and it's like, must be 2-3 miles of just beautiful sandy beaches. And there's obviously some of the smaller islands off of that. But you're looking at this area here is the waterfront campground area where the Laundries had that reservation. Again, their attorney tells us they were there at least for that one night, JB, from the 6th to the 7th, while the public record said they had the reservation for the 2 nights, Labor Day Monday through that Wednesday. And again, fitting in this timeline, JB, that is, again, just later that week, that Saturday night, this whole investigation got going when Nicole Schmidt contacted police on Long Island that the Laundrie family had this camping trip days before this whole story became a national obsession.
And I said this yesterday. I'll say it again. Camping after a cross-country or near cross-country road trip where you've been on the road for 2 months, coming home and going camping after your fiance is no longer with you, was with you for every day of that road trip, and then all of a sudden wasn't. Listen, it strikes me as peculiar. Very strange.
To a lot of people, it does. The one thing some of the campers were telling me who are regulars there, this was Labor Day Monday. This family didn't get this reservation after he got home the first. They may have had, we keep that in mind. Again, the question is, people want to know is, what did they know, what do they know, and when did they know it? And if they went this Labor Day, this camping trip, again, it raises eyebrows to think, they're out there camping while you have the Petito and Schmidt families, reality
freaking out about where's our daughter? And you're camping? Let's make s'mores. Hey, you got the Hershey's chocolate and the graham crackers?
Yeah.
It's just.
And again, we should remind this point again. The parents have not been charged. They have not been named. Now we've brought up the peculiarity that they have not done any public appeals to help find their son they say is missing. We know the Gabby's family says he's out in hiding somewhere, consistent with some of the dog reports. But again, the parents have not been charged. But, again, I've reported here, the first time they really spoke to Northport police was that Friday night when they said, hey, we don't know where our son is. And there was this period of silence there after the 11th till the following Friday where Northport wanted to talk to them and they remained silent. And you saw that quote yesterday, JB, from the Petito Schmidt attorney. They didn't help us find Gabby. They're sure as not going to help us find Brian. That was, to me, was probably one of the most important quotes from the news conference yesterday.
And again, the attorney, Stephen Bertolino, confirming that there was a camping trip.
Yes.
Like this isn't now like some figments of our imagination
we have
here.
the public record and their attorneys saying, hey, look, they were there in this critical 10-day window from when Brian returned and when the family reported their daughter missing. And it's trying to piece together what happened in that time frame.
And again, 3 in, 3 out. Now the family, again, confirmed by Stephen Bertolino, the attorney, the whole family was there. So so Chris and Roberta were there. Brian was there. They went there for the 6th and the 7th, and then they were gone.
Quote, they all left. That was his exact
That's what he said. That's what he said. And listen, he could be passing along that information on behalf of the family, of course, that has brought him on. But we will find out more, hopefully, as to whether or not Brian was there and did in fact leave on the 7th. Justin, I know we had to get you going here by 4 o'clock here.
I got a few more minutes.
Okay.
Wait on a call back, JB. We can track these developments, and I know our colleague Nico Clemens is also headed that way. He's working some angles today. So
let me just say this. Let me just say this, and I'm just going to speak for me. This is what I do on stream. Sometimes I'm just going to speak for me. If I went on a cross-country road trip, good luck getting me out of the house after I get back, right? I'm in my house, turning on Netflix, with my wife, my 2 cats, and we are hanging. I am enjoying my own bed. I am enjoying my own couch, and I'm not an outdoorsman. Now, Brian Laundrie again said to have been someone that really loved being outdoors. Maybe it was normal for him to go on this van life road trip across the country and then return home and then go camping a few days later. Maybe that was normal for him. I can say that for me, and I think a lot of our commenters, that if you went on a cross-country road trip, you're loving, you're just digging your house. You're loving being at home, but also too, this is all under the assumption that I didn't lose my fiance on the road, that something didn't happen to my, because now again, under that scenario now, if I went on a cross-country road trip, van life, with my fiance, and I just got home, and she wasn't with me, and something terrible happened that potentially threatens the future, our future marriage, I am distraught. I am inconsolable, and I'm just locked into just the confines of my own home. I'm speaking for me there, but we don't know what happened on the road between Brian and Gabby. We don't know the circumstances of his return, and we certainly don't know what motivated him to go camping with his family. Maybe just maybe Brian got home and Chris and Roberta said, oh my God, our son is so upset. We need to do something that makes him happy. Let's get him back outside. He needs to get outside. Let's take him on this camping trip. Let's go to, Fort DeSoto. It's one of our favorite places. Let's go and just get him in a place that he loves. Maybe that'll cheer him up. This is all plausible here, within the realm of possible, as we call it here. So
look, the $1 million question, which we don't have the answers to. What did he tell his parents when he came back with the van that on September 1st? What was that first conversation like? What was his explanation to his parents as to why he is home with the van and Gabby is not with him? We don't know, JB. That is the million-dollar question. What did the parents know? What were they told, and when? Right?
We have to remind our audience here, because there are people that are just so upset at the Laundrie parents here, and you at this stage of where we are in this story, you know, you have a feeling as to what happened, and I've talked to people in my own personal life that say, oh, this is what happened. This is what I think happened, right? And people are forming their own theories, but there's of course the scenario where Brian returns home, says something terrible happened, but that the Laundrie parents, that Chris and Roberta Laundrie, just don't have as much information, don't have specifics on what happened to Gabby or where Brian is now, because Brian kept them in the dark. That is within the realm of possible here, Justin.
And we don't know what attempts at communication were made during that week, if any, from Gabby's family to the Laundrie parents.
Right.
That's the thing. Like, there are a lot of things we don't know. We're going to follow the facts here, but again, we've talked a lot about that timeline between the Moab, Utah incident to August 27th. Now it's this period of the 1st to the 11th is falling under a lot of scrutiny as people try to figure out where exactly did Brian and his family go in those days leading up to the missing person report being filed. And then again, we've talked a lot about the trip to the Carlton Reserve, which has prompted those massive searches, which still going on, targeted searches, JB, haven't really turned up anything there yet as we continue to look at the waterfront campground there in Fort DeSoto in southern Pinellas County. I believe it's about a 75-mile drive north of Northport, where the family is, JB. But as you know, one of the most popular campsites, here in our greater Tampa Bay area.
Okay, so let's just follow up with our viewers about the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office chopper that is in the air right now, continuing north of Clearwater now. So, I mean, way on the other side of Pinellas County. So this, from what we're seeing, the trajectory of the flight, everything right now looks like this was just a routine flight by the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office. And now you could note that it started at Fort DeSoto, but that could just be a routine flight pattern. And so there's nothing to say right now that chopper is in the air specifically connected to the search for Brian Laundrie. Let's take some more hashtag Hey Justin as well. We're gonna a lot of comments and questions are in the queue here from when Josh Benson was on the stream, but you can use hashtag Hey Justin, hashtag Hey JB.
All J names here today, JB.
A lot of J's on the stream here today. Let's take this one from Brandy Gardner, hashtag Hey JB. When he is found, what will he be charged with, if anything?
Great question.
And so we have that.
So we know he's already a wanted fugitive for the bank account fraud. He is accused of unlawfully accessing about $1,000 from a bank account. I believe it's a Capital One account. So
charge is use of unauthorized access devices.
Thank you, JB. You had the federal indictment ready to go. So to answer Brandy's question, he is already wanted on a federal warrant out of the District of Wyoming. So again, we've talked about going from a person of interest to an actual, wanted fugitive. So to answer your point, Brandy, he would be taken in on that charge, go through his initial appearance in the federal court system, and then it's the question as if any additional charges will be filed. But so far, we know, Brandy, he is wanted for that unlawful access of the bank account. And they were specific in the press release, JB, to say activities after the death of Gabby Petito. Those, I believe it's August 29th to September 1st, or it's in that late August, early September timeframe is when he's accused of unlawfully using that bank account.
Let's also pass along here to our viewers, because we have some great viewers that join us here, everybody, on WFLA now. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office, yes, is over the reserve, Myakkahatchee, Carlton Reserve, and so there is a chopper there over the air at Carlton Reserve. And there were search efforts there today, Justin. There were search efforts there today,
but they've scaled back, more targeted. They're trying, and we know we've talked about just the difficult terrain. I mean, that is a swampland. It's been a lot of rain down there in the Northport, Venice area. So there have been these more